So I'm in DC. I am here with postcards, going to be delivering them to the offices of our senators. And I wanted to read you some of them. This is going to be a little longer video than I usually do, but this is only a smattering of the postcards that I've been given to deliver. A woman and her 4 children are currently hiding in a local hotel, terrified of their abuser, who is the woman's husband and her children's father. They were able to flee their home and leave the situation that no human being should ever have to experience. Because of immigration status, local law enforcement is not involved. The mother is petrified of her violent husband, but even more afraid of ICE. Resources to house her are running out. What real choices does this mother have? From a healthcare worker. We have patients that are in active labor, but refusing to seek the medical care they so desperately need because they are afraid of ICE, separating them from their newborns. My nephew has cerebral palsy and relies on Medicare for critical services. Our family cares for him at home, but we need government support to pay for treatments and medical supplies. We fear cuts to Medicare will impact his health or even require his institutionalization. Around the beginning of July, a member of our community was detained by ICE. He was a friend of many people in our congregation. It was heartbreaking to hear his story. He had done nothing to deserve detention. In fact, he had only been seeking asylum. One of our church members has recently brought us a supply of apples from his brother's orchard. This orchard suffers from not being able to hire enough workers to pick the fruit due to recent immigration rules. Much of the fruit will rot on the tree. Another one from a healthcare worker. We have patients that are distrustful of interpretive services because they may have connections with ICE. They're refusing care they desperately need. Patients are afraid to receive their care because of fear of deportation. My sensitive poet, mentee, a DACA recipient, graduated high school in 2018. He earned scholarships for his writing and went to college. He was accepted at every school he applied to across the country. But with Trump's first inauguration, he began to doubt whether he really could build a life or a solid pathway to citizenship. His anxiety kept increasing through school, and he began using and then abusing the prescriptions he was given. He was lost to an accidental overdose in September of 2020, not because of his character, but from the fear and terror he faced. His memory is a blessing. With humane and fair paths to citizenships, our communities would be full of people like him, sensitive, poetic, playful, and strong. While visiting my friend in a memory care facility, I spoke with her, a long-time caregiver. She's from Mexico, has been a U.S. citizen for 25 years. She confided in me that she had become afraid because, as she puts it, I am brown. She has photographed all of her papers to carry with her, and she wanted assurance from me that that would be enough. We have someone in our community who is in danger of being disappeared. They're an important member of our community and important beyond our community. The danger causes fear and anxiety to their family who is loving and caring. It also causes fear and anxiety to our community. They are not the worst of the worst. They're the best of the best. In my community, people living in extreme poverty on the verge of houselessness are terrified of Trump's war on poverty. He says they're vagrants, scum, drugged out maniacs. The working poor are in danger in our country. Trans youth and adults in my community are terrified of political rhetoric around domestic terrorism and the malignment of trans folks. This week, I and a group of clergy gathered to discover how we might support a longtime community member and his family. He is a refugee from Central America who escaped political violence. For years, he has worked to support and assist immigrant communities. His son, fearful of being sent back, self-deported. Within weeks, he was killed by gangs. I am a 14-year-old and a scout. I volunteer with our local pantry. I have noticed that there are more people depending on the food pantry because they don't have enough money for food, clothing, and other necessities. I'm worried about how we can continue to make sure everyone has everything they need. I'm a mom and mental health therapist. One of my children is a 16-year-old who has been diagnosed with autism and gender dysphoria. All of the lies about autism and trans folks are causing my child and family so much undue grief. These are just a few of the stories that I'm carrying with me to Washington. Stories of the impact of our cruel government. If only our government would follow Jesus, would follow the one who called us to care for those who need us, to love our neighbors as ourselves.